Anna Huthmaker with Huthmaker Violins. You found another one of our Students Stuck at Home series. So yesterday we found out our kids aren't getting to go back to school at all this for the rest of the year. So what's a kid to do if they're sitting at home and they want to play, but their instruments come out of tune? Today we're going to learn how to tune your string bass. Now the bass is an easy one, so all you need are a few small tools and a little bit of practice, and this will be a piece of cake for you. The first thing that you're going to need is a good A. Where are you going to get a good A? Well, let me back up a second. Now, we'll tell you there's two different approaches to tuning. First thing you're going to need is your cell phone, because I want you to download a free tuner app. There's a million of them out there. You can find them all over the place. With those apps, you can do a couple of different things. You can play the pitches, and you can measure the pitches. The reason I mentioned playing the pitches is because that's a good place to get an A. You need to know what a good 440 A sounds like. Now, if you don't have a tuner app, I'm kind of old school, you can use a tuning fork. That's what I'm going to use today. You can use a piano if you have a piano at your house, or a keyboard. You need that good A to start with. Now, if you have a good tuner app, you can just very simply play your open strings very smoothly, and your tuner will tell you, are you too high or are you too low? But I'm going to tell you how to tune your bass without a tuner. All you need is a good A, and you need to know how to play harmonics. Now, if you haven't learned to play a harmonic yet, a harmonic is kind of like a bell tone. It happens when you touch the string but you don't press it down. And it only happens in specific places on the bass. So if you try and do it in a place that a harmonic doesn't live, you'll either get some squawky noises or you'll get no sound whatsoever. In our case, we need two harmonics. First thing I want you to do though is I want you to get your bass out, and I want you to just play. I want you to move your fingers around, and I want you to try and find some harmonics. You'll make some ugly squeaky noises some of the time, but every now and then you'll find a place where it just sounds really cool. To get a really great harmonic sound, just know you need to draw your bow fast and light, and I want you to let it really ring out so you can hear the pitch. That's going to become really important in a second. You need two harmonics for this exercise, and if you notice, I've drawn pencil lines on my bass. The pencil lines will not hurt your fingerboard at all. So the first one, the one that's highest up, happens right where fourth position is. So on the G string, that's going to be where your D note is. So go ahead and go grab a pencil and come back and just make a little line on your fingerboard. You can draw it all the way across. You can just draw a little note. I just want you to remember where that is. There's a harmonic there on all four strings. Ooh, my bass needs tuning. And then the second harmonic you need is a whole step lower. It's going to be under the note C on your G string. So this is your third position note. And draw another thing there. And we have a harmonic under those notes too. And here's where it gets kind of fun. So the first thing you want to play is with your fourth finger on the D string, you're going to play this harmonic. I'll call this harmonic number 1 because it's like the most important one. It's right here, the neck block. Fourth finger on the D string. Now you're going to start with a really good A, either finger tuner or finger tuning fork, and you're going to play it. And we want them to be the exact same sound. If they're not the same, the first thing you ask yourself is, am I lower or am I higher? And sometimes it might be kind of hard to tell. It will take a little bit of practice. This will get easier and easier. So let's pretend it's not correct. I'm going to tune it down, and let's see what happens now. Ooh, you can see, number 1, it doesn't match. I can tell you that I'm too low. Now, during this process, always pay attention to what gear you're using. You want to make sure you're tuning the right string. This one up here is for the D string. I'm tuning the D string right now, even though the note is an A. It's on the D string. And I'm going to turn it away from me. And I'm going to turn it until I think I'm closer to the pitch that I want. I'm getting there. All right, so now let's pretend that now this is perfect, close enough for jazz, like we say. I want you to keep your fourth finger on that harmonic on the D string, and I want you to put your first finger on the harmonic on the A string. And these two notes should match. Now, if you have a good ear, you might could tell that mine don't match very well. Now, remember, I've already tuned the D string. Let's pretend the D string is perfect. Don't change anything, which means I have to figure out my A string. Is it too low or too high? So let's do a little alteration so we can be really clear on this. And if you play it and the harmonic doesn't sing out really nicely, just do it again. It's no big deal. Remember, nice, light, swift bow. Woo! D string, A string. My A string is definitely too low. I want to raise that pitch some. So I'm going to take that gear, this right here, the top one on closest to my head. This is the A string gear. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And try it again. It's better, but it's still not good. It's getting better. Woo, wait a minute. I went too high. Can you hear it? Now, D string, A string. Now my A string is higher. I don't want that. I want them to match. So I'm going to bring it back down a little bit. The good news is, as long as you're careful, with gears, you don't have to worry about this being difficult, the pegs. You can go a little too high, a little too low. They're easy to adjust. And I'm going to go back and forth until I can make them match. Close enough for jazz for right now. Better, huh? So if you do have someone in your household that plays the guitar, they can help you with that, because the guitar pegs work the exact same way ours do. They're called gears. Do not let your guitar playing friends and family help you if you play violin or cello or viola. We'll do that in another video. So now that I've done those two strings, we're just going to plop our fingers over one more string. My fourth finger is now on the A string. My first finger's on the E string. Whew. I promise I didn't make this out of tune on purpose, but this is a brand new bass, so everything's stretching on it. Better. I just adjusted. I go back and forth, remembering that the string on the top is the one I've already tuned. So the one on the bottom is the one I got to adjust. Now, if you're paying attention, you realize we've done the D string, the A string, and the E string. When we're done, the last thing we do is we flop our hands all the way over. Fourth finger on the G string, first finger on the D string. This is the only one that's backwards. We know that this D string, we've already tuned it, so we want to match the G string to it. And it will just take a little practice. Before you know it, you'll be close enough to get out your scales and your etudes and start practicing and working on your assignment for your digital at-home learning that you have to do every day. When you go through this process, I want you to stop and take a second and say a silent prayer of thanks to your teachers, because they tune these instruments like 400 times every day, and you see how hard it is just to tune one. If you have any questions about tuning, you can email me at Huthmaker Violins anytime, and I'll be happy to answer you. Practice hard, and now go to your bass.